Doug Lehman breaking it down in layman's terms today. I've got another special guest from Transform Sales, the CEO, Wesleyne Greer. Now, she is dynamic in the world of sales and B2B, a true sales leader and coach, and she builds sales teams from the get-go on all levels of results and hitting your numbers and quota. She has a podcast and a whole lot more. Welcome in layman's terms.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm glad to get you on, and I've had a chance to look over your bio and what you do, and you really specialize in the new hires in sales management because, they got a lot on their task to hit their numbers. Let's talk a little bit about Transform Coach or Transform Sales and what you bring to the table that is different than other sales training.
So really what distinguishes Transform Sales is that we focus on the management, the leadership team, because I firmly believe that underperforming sales teams are due to underperforming sales managers. So in order to fix the team that's not hitting quota, that's not doing the things that they need to do, we have to start with the sales manager. And most times sales managers don't get playbooks. When you start in sales, there are a gazillion training courses out there for you, but there's no playbook for sales leadership, getting into sales management. So what we do is we really help build the confidence of new sales managers and those that may be hitting the mark and help them develop the confidence they need so that they can then develop their entire team.
Well, I love the concept of developing new sales leaders or new sales performers, and better yet, teams, because let's face it, you've got numbers, you've got objectives to hit the home run in selling. Now, what I like about your program and what I've read is it's not a cookie cutter approach. You've got different traits. And I know you put a lot of work into that. Can you comment on kind of like walk me through, if you could quickly, if that's possible, the bullet points of your training and what separates it from the competition?
Yes. So most times, you'll get a call up and say, hey, I need some sales training. And then you'll get a prescriptive, this is what we do, or maybe it's semi-customized or they do this or that. But really what we do is we start with really understanding the inner workings of your sales team and your sales organization. We get in there and we're evaluating and assessing and understanding what's going on. So I like to call it the MRI. So we do an MRI to understand what's happening. And then after we do that MRI, then we start coming up with your customized training and coaching plan. And that consists of training the sales leadership team, training the actual sales team, doing group trainings. We sometimes have to do ride-alongs and help. We're walking alongside a sales manager, sales leader in whatever they need to really, really develop that team. And we have a 3-step process. It's I do, you watch. So I'm actually going to be showing them, this is how you actually train your salespeople. This is how you coach. This is how you have a conversation with them. And then the next step is you do, I watch. So then they've seen me model it. And now I'm watching them and I'm giving them feedback and saying, okay, let's change this or do that or do that. And then the final stage is you do, someone else watches. So that's when you know that you really hit success, because that's when the salesperson that you've been pouring into and training and mentoring says, hey, boss just told me I can do this and this and that. And did you know that we can do this cool trick in the CRM? And so when the salesperson that you're coaching and training is able to teach someone else and pour into someone else, that's how you know you have achieved success.
You've achieved success with your goals, but it's very systematic, but not cookie cutter.
No cookie cutter.
It's customized and it's well documented. And you've got a really cool podcast called Snack Size Sales, but you're also working on another show for the Sales Experts channel. Briefly, can you comment on that?
Yes, it is called B Squared for new sales managers. And what we'll be chatting about is how to find your balance and blueprint as a new sales manager. Because when you start in sales management, you go from being a superstar salesperson that's hitting the quota out the water, that's doing everything, you're on the top of the leader charts, to having to deal with 2 or 10 or 20 different salespeople, and you have no clue how to manage them, how to help them all hit their quota and not actually sell and work less than 80 or 90 hours a week. So I'm interviewing experts. I'm interviewing people who have lived this journey, who've come up through the ranks as salespeople and they move into sales leadership, and they are sharing their tips, their war stories, and giving you ideas on how to be successful.
I love that. Learning from the experts, from an expert like yourself. Wesleyne, you got anything else that you would like to add briefly before we wrap this up?
What I would like to say is when you're suffering, when your sales team is suffering, you're not hitting your quota, you're having high turnover rates, the first thing to do is to look at the top or to be introspective. If you're a business owner, if you're a sales leader, the first thing you need to do is work on yourself. So that is what I help you do. Look inwardly and figure out the things that you can do differently to really impact the team. And when you take that first step to say, I need someone to come alongside me, I need some assistance in this, then and only then will your sales team be able to hit their quota month after month.
Hit their mark. Definitely check out Wesleyne Greer, her podcast, everything else that she's got going on. And I want to thank you out there in layman's terms for social watching.